Before we get too far, let me just set your mind at ease by saying I will not curse one time for this entire video. And no, it's not to appease the YouTube algorithm or to draw in an audience of gullible children. It's because I gave up saying naughty words for Lent. And as of recording this, it's still Lent. So, don't know what that means? Don't worry. We'll get into that later. But first, I need to go change into my Sunday best. Excuse me for a moment. How do I look? What, you thought I was coming back out of that closet? No, I have no idea where that closet goes, but it's not behind that wall. I just wake up somewhere about an hour's walk from here, and hey, I just got back, so hope the camera didn't randomly move while I was gone. Let's just start with a fun fact. Pause for the fun fact tune. Hey everybody, it's time for a fun fact. We good? Okay. I'm culturally Catholic, which is to say I was raised Catholic, and I go to Mass sometimes. I observe most of the holy days of obligation. I do most of the good Catholic boy things. But in public, I feel like we should have a different word than Catholic, because if you call yourself Catholic, I tend to get raised eyebrows. And to be fair, they're kind of warranted. In the past, Catholics have gotten into some pretty nasty spats over, the past several centuries. I think we can all agree on that. So, hey. Regardless of your opinion on the denomination or the larger religion around it, I think it's safe to say that unless you're Catholic, Catholicism isn't going to affect you much in your daily life. But that's where you'd be wrong. Despite what they taught you in schools, we never lost our power, just slunk back into the shadows to start pulling the strings in more subtle ways. For years, you've been partaking in a Catholic tradition, and you didn't even realize it. Provided you eat a certain sandwich on a certain day, during a certain period of time that changes every year, because if it was easy, it wouldn't be Catholic enough. That's right. You too have been partaking in Lent, and you might not have even realized it. What does that mean? We're going to have to start at the beginning. Dorime. So a long time ago, there ended up being this baby that caused a whole lot of controversy because he told everyone that the meaning of life is to be nice to each other and not judge everyone all the time about everything, which was really annoying. So they just attached him to a wooden T over it. Not his baby, don't worry. He got 30-something good years of living in before they did the deed. And some people think, actually, that they didn't even do that good of a job because he ended up coming back. But this isn't an Easter video, so I don't really have time to talk about that. If you're interested, just Google Jesus Christ Wikipedia. That should probably get you where you need to go. So it turns out this baby made a bunch of friends in the 30 years he spent not being a baby. And they kept telling everyone that it would be kind of sick if we stopped being awful to each other all the time. And that eventually did catch on, and it turned into this whole underground countercultural movement called Christianity. That's what it was. Put a pin in that. We won't be coming back to it. Keep in mind that originally there weren't really denominations, just a bunch of people trying to follow the instructions of this guy that they thought was really awesome. After enough centuries passed, though, people kept forgetting the point over and over again. Splits began to form, and it was necessary to name what we would eventually call denominations. And the denomination that stuck closest to the teachings of that original group of friends is every denomination ever. What, did you think any of them would assume that they were wrong? None of this is going to be that simple. But the main group we're interested in are the Catholics, and that's because this is my channel, and the only thing we're interested in here is me. Now, the Catholics came up with this wacky idea that in order to better understand the hardships that cool baby went through in his journey to make the world a better place, we should probably try to do some tough stuff as well. Their answer came in the form of Lent, a 40-day adventure in fasting and willing abandonment of luxury. That lack of luxury typically took the shape of giving up something unnecessary that you would normally do for the 40 days of Lent in order to instead spend that time and money you would normally spend on that activity on more important things like, I don't know, prayer and charity. Hey, that's why I can't curse for this video. I gave up saying the A word so I can focus on the holy word. See, told you I'd explain it. The idea was to mimic Jesus' 40-day fast in the desert where he was tempted by the devil. Originally, you could only have one meal for all 40 days of Lent, but as time went on, the rules grew a little lax. First, a second lighter meal was added to every single day, then 2 lighter meals, and finally, you only have to fast on the first and last days of Lent. In order to make up for the change in the rules, a new one was added, stating that every single Friday for the entirety of Lent, no one was allowed to have meat from a warm-blooded animal. That's Catholic for you can still have fish. This, like many things Catholics have done, is cause for plenty of controversy. Many people believe that the Pope, or Big Papa Catholicism, really only instated this rule because he had a hand in the fish market and he was hoping this would boost sales. I consider that a bit debatable. To be fair, Christianity has always considered fish to be an important symbol. Plenty of New Testament miracles involve fish. Some of Jesus' best bros were fishermen originally. So really, to me, it could go either way. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter all that much. We're kind of just here to discuss how things are now. So I really only bring it up to cover all my bases and to make sure that everyone has plenty of reason to be angry at me. After years of tweaking it to make it just uncomfortable enough, we finally had a modern-day Lent. 40 days of giving up a Lenten sacrifice and, every Friday, warm-blooded meat. Why did I mention all of this? Well, this video is about a sandwich, and the story of that sandwich starts on a Lent not too long ago, where a Catholic franchisee was about to innovate the Lenten fast as we knew it. Dorime. Let's set the stage. The year is 1959, and the place? Ohio. Sounds like the start of a horror film, but trust me, things only get scarier from here. We open on a brand new McDonald's franchise. Lou Grohm was at the forefront of the McDonald's craze, and he was starting to feel some of the growing pains. They had only just started franchising, and being located in Mumford Heights, Ohio was tough enough, but around Lent he found that they had an even bigger problem on their hands. A majority of the population was Catholic. When 87% of your customer base can't have meat on Fridays, the last thing you want to own is a struggling burger joint. But, ever the fighter, Lou continued to look for inspiration elsewhere, and he found it at a nearby big boy chain. They had a fish sandwich. Lou knew if he was going to draw in a Catholic audience, he needed to stick to the basics. The original prototype for the sandwich was a battered halibut-adjacent fish with a slice of cheese between a pair of buns. Can't get much simpler than that. A moment of true divine inspiration struck him from on high, and he knew that he must call this sandwich the Filet-O-Fish. It was going to change everything. After rigorous testing and research, Lou knew he had something special on his hands, so he brought it to Ray Kroc, McDonald's founder and famous Michael Keaton cosplayer.
Is it called cosplaying to look like the person that plays you in a movie?
Kroc thought fish smelled bad though, so he called Lou a little stinker. Turns out that's partially because he was already married to a different meatless sandwich, invented by a far superior man, named Ray Kroc. Kroc had invented the hula burger, a piece of grilled pineapple with cheese between a pair of buns. Truly an iconic rival to the Filet-O-Fish. Kroc was confident that his sandwich was the better option, but Lou continued to push for his fish sandwich, and ever the capitalist, Kroc decided to leave their fates up to the free market. Both sandwiches would receive a limited release of one Friday at certain locations, and whichever one sold better would be added to the menu. Considering you've heard of one of them before, I think you can guess which sandwich won. Kroc was a man of his word, and on February 1962, the Filet-O-Fish sandwich became a new staple of the McDonald's menu. And I think we all know the rest. After all that fanfare, I must be a pretty big fan of the sandwich, right? Well, I've never had it. Kind of a bad Catholic. So, I figured after all this research, it was about time to do something about that. So without further ado, here's the big conclusion to this entire video. I'm gonna go get a sandwich. Here it is. The sandwich we're all craving. Good old filet of fish. This is the only part of the video that isn't scripted, and that terrifies me, because I don't know how to have a conversation without writing it 3 months in advance. So, yeah, we're just gonna see if this works. Here's the sandwich. It smells like fish, which is promising. Yeah, it's got cheese in a bun, so I don't know what else you could ask for in a fish sandwich. I'm mostly just stalling because I don't like fish that much, so I don't know why I did any of this, but yeah, that's tastes like fish. Why did I do this? So the next time you go out and buy yourself a fillet of fish on a Friday in the middle of March, ask yourself, did I want this? Or am I playing right into the Catholic's hands? Food for thought. I've been Chester Starling, star of the Starlings, and this is the sandwich the Catholics made. I'll see you soon. It tastes like fish. What else do you want from me? Soon came quicker than you thought. We all know the iconic Filet-O-Fish commercial, right? The one with the toy fish on the wall singing about how much it sucks to get killed and eaten. Here, watch it right now. It turns out that the commercial was so popular that McDonald's started selling the fish, called Frankie, in toy stores across America. In order to drum up even more sales, they added a remix version of the song. I was looking for a clean clip to play for this video when I stumbled across someone doing a review of the Frankie the Fish toy, and it's just incredible. Instead of whatever I was going to do to end this video, which is lost to the ages at this point, I'm just going to leave you with this. Shout out to my man PB and Awesome. This is great stuff. I really hope you're not canceled.
And if you flip it over, the switch. The club remix. There you go. Frankie the Fish. Also now available at Toys R Us, which is where I found this one.
Soon came quicker than you thought. We all know the iconic Filet-O-Fish commercial, right? The one with the toy fish on the wall singing about how much it sucks to get killed and eaten. Here, watch it right now.